Okay guys, sorry about that. I have a call coming in. My mom. Alright, so I've got this one down and we're just going to build off of this one. And the reason I did this is I want these pieces to sit inside. Just like that. Okay, so this one I started in the center versus on the sides. I have my monthly crop coming up for Creating the Crafty Life. We do the online crop once a month, and this is our Christmas and July themed one, and that is going to be starting soon. Okay, I'm going to just kind of score this so it's easier for it to come up. Might have made this part a little, let's bend it. I'm right on that seam. It's not where I want it to be. Let's see, can I, oh I can. Ooh, if I'm careful, because I didn't press this down too much. I'm playing a dangerous, dangerous game. It's making me very nervous. Just the inside. Okay. Okay, all right. Let's try this again. We're going to move it over just a little bit. So there's that one. That's a better placement. That is a much better placement. So I know too bad. Okay. This will get covered up. I'm not too worried about it. Okay. Now, with this bend, I don't know if I'm going to be this lucky. Let me see if I can do. That's not right either. It was right in my head, and it was not right. Well, that makes it so much easier. Okay. You know what I could do? I could just glue it with some wet glue. Then wrap bit. But I think this is about even. Okay. There you go. That's good. All that prep, and it really probably didn't speed that process up any. Then last one. This one goes here. This one is going to just do a slight. There we go. Alright, that was much easier the second time around. Alright, so now I want to cut off some of this bulk. Cut that to 1/2 inch. And 1/2 inch. Get rid of some of this junk. So big it doesn't fit in the whole thing, but that's okay. My paper's a little crooked, apparently. Or my pieces are a little crooked. But it's handmade, so I'm not too worried about it. Okay, so I need to miter these corners a little bit. Go. Okay. And my brain. I think I want it to be, okay. I'm going to cut those little triangle pieces out of the bottom. I'm going to fold those up the top. Thought for a second maybe I wasn't going to do the top, but I will do the top. I'm just going to start wrapping them, kind of pressing them. Could run my stylus. Around all the edges. Help kind of start moving those fibers. Okay. Okay. I just had to remember my plan for a minute. Okay, before we start taking that stuff out. So this I cut 7 1/8 by 7 1/8. Oh wait, no, 8 1/8. Wait, this is 7 by 7, so yeah, 8 by 8. That's what I cut it at. I think I have a method to my madness. So this should just fit pretty much right inside these score lines. There we go. Give this a good press. Press them. Okay. And we're gonna go ahead and miter all of these corners. Okay, and I'm actually going to wrap this bottom piece. I thought maybe I wasn't going to at first, but I don't want to have exposed chipboard showing like I do kind of have on the top, and then I got to figure out how to cover that up. So go ahead and just wrap. This is going to be in the bottom. So 7 1/8. No, it doesn't matter like top or bottom. They're both identical. So let's go ahead. and start adhering this down. Sits. Oh, okay. Make sure that it's flush. Right there. This one gets pushed. Nice and flush also. Give me just 1 second, guys. Okay, I'm back. All right, so now these pieces just get rolled under, or folded over. Just folded, pressed, fold and pressed, fold and pressed. Okay. Because I really didn't have to be too worried about this top part folding over. But it's all good. Okay. Okay, now before I put the fold down flap on, I'm going to actually, I think these are all the same. I made little hinges for the insides, and I want to put those in before I go any farther, because I just feel like it's going to be easier to put those in before. So again, I'm just pulling the sticky off, and these go, the score goes just into the edge, just like that. And again, I'm going to go in and I'm going to press all of these edges down with my bone folder, so everything is just adhered super, super well. If you're using the 1/2 inch score tape, what you can do is you can take the one side off, you can bring it in to your corner and just line it up. Okay, just line it up, press it in, and then come back. It's kind of hard to see it like this, but come back in. Take off the other side. Take off the other side, and then just press it down, just like that. So it definitely, either way, I don't mind either way. Okay, gotta do this back one. Just into the corners. Okay. And I have these two, but I know that they're going to be too long. So, because I cut them to the 7 1/4 because I was just making them. So what I want to do is find my scissors wherever I threw them. Right here. And I want that, well actually let's just do it this way. We'll just cut this to 6. Super easy to fix. Okay, don't need those little pieces. But I do want to grab my scissors and just, oh gosh. Well, this one will be a little short because I wasn't paying attention to the ankle. Again, remember, pay attention to the ankle. Otherwise you're going to have crazy they're just not going to be set right. Okay, so we're going to just get that. I'll just go into the corner like that. Okay, so now this is my top, and it sits like this. Okay, so it sits like this. I have to put this other flap on, so we'll do that, and then I've got to put it together first. Okay, I have everything. This one is going to be moving. There's going to be a lot of stress on it, so I put a lot of adhesive on it. So just, you guys can see there's a lot of adhesive on this piece right here. All right, so first things first, let's get this piece in. So we'll get this little piece in first, and this is the 6 by 7 1/8 piece. I'm just gonna right, was it? Okay, now I want to wrap. Not all the adhesive, so we're going to peel that little piece off. Square, just run that there. Just run that up like that. So I'm just wrapping this as completely as I possibly can. It kind of looks like an envelope right now. This looks kind of like an envelope. This is the kind of the tricky piece to get this one on straight. Just throw in these. Okay, so what I'm going to do Let's try and line. The train. Line this up to my best ability. That's going to get. Okay. Splash. Push this down. And this is going to be covered up by pattern paper, so I'm not too concerned. Okay. Now, bring this piece in. This is going to sit in here. Okay, so what I'm going to do, bring this in, adhesive in. Actually, let's do it this way. Let's get this to sit in there as flush. Now, since that is on there, we're going to go ahead and release this backing. This needs a little more trimming. Just like that. Okay. Okay. Now, there we go. There we go. So this will sit, my top will sit here and here, and it's going to, so this will open and this will open. Now I have to decide if I'm just going to cover this part in black cardstock as well before I adhere it, or if I'm going to cover this in pattern paper and just leave the edges like that. I don't necessarily feel like I need it for stability on the sides. I mean, I already have the border there. Maybe not. Gosh. Okay. So the mini is going to go in there. And then the phonograph is going to go on top. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm going to stop here for a moment and get my measurements from my pattern papers and work that out, and I'll be back. Hi guys, so back today, and let me get organized because I have my things, I have pieces cut, I have pieces ready. Okay, let's go ahead and start with finishing up the box. So what I did was I cut and I inked and I put my magnets on, for not completely on, but for the box. Okay, so I need, okay guys, not sure what happened there. Hopefully it doesn't beep at me again. We'll see. I couldn't read the note. So this is the outside, and then this is the outs. So these are the outsides, and this is the insides. All right, so I didn't have enough paper left to do the full thing in one pattern, so I've got this. Now this paper right here, I actually had to piece together. I just put some washi tape on the back and I put together, and it's okay. It's the top of the box, so you're not really going to see it. So we'll just pretend that it is one piece. And I'm going to go ahead and use my, my art glitter glue on this. So there's going to be a certain way that I have to put this together in order to get my papers put on right. So the inside pieces that I'm doing right now, just for convenience. Okay guys, so I'm back. I had to reset some things on my camera, so hopefully I am good to go as far as that goes. We'll see. So I laid this down, and let's go ahead and I gotta grab a little pick. So I've already got those done. I was just trying to figure out which feet I wanted to use on the bottom of this, because these I will have to adhere before I put the inside liner on the bottom in. These I can just put on at any time. So I'm trying to decide on that. So we'll see. The little ones are definitely easier because I'll just have to adhere glue up, you know, put glue on them and adhere the bottom. I realized that two of my papers the front and the back pieces are going to be slightly smaller on the sides, because I, like, what did I cut them at, 7 or something like that? Anyway, I cut them a 1/4 of an inch smaller than my pieces, but they're 7, and these are 7 1/4. So I think I cut them at like 6 3/4, and 2 of them I should have cut at 7, and then 2 obviously at the 6 3/4, but whatever. It's on the inside, it'll be all right. Okay, so there's that. And I don't need to cover these 3 because I'm adhering the box, but I didn't, if the inside of the box was seen, I just didn't want that showing. Okay, now set that out of the way. We'll come back to that. I'm not going to adhere this down just yet, but I am going to do my inside pieces. So and I've already inked them. So we just need to be glued in. Nice and straight. I just love this paper. I'm so excited. You know, I was working on this, you know, matting and stuff like that, and I was thinking about the box, and I was looking at it's where I got the cut for the Morning Glory amplifier, I think is what it's actually called. Hold on. I have it. Hold on. It's Tara's Craft Studio, and I'll try and remember to link down below. But I was thinking, well, maybe I shouldn't have made it like a traditional box and done it more of a, you know what I'm saying, like a box with a drawer kind of thing, like still done the front like this, but not had the edge all the way around. That definitely would have made things a little easier, but I like this idea, and so we're going to stick with it. So we're just adhering these, and I just happen to be paying attention to the direction that the paper is going, because I want all of my piano keys going in the same direction. And again, it's not going to be that noticeable, because once the top gets glued on and, you know, all that kind of stuff, it's not going to matter that much, but it matters to me. So with all these mats, all I did was I cut them a 1/4 inch smaller than my sides, or thereabouts. Oh, we almost just put that on upside down. It would be just my luck. Final side, and I put it upside down. Okay, so our box is gonna look roughly like that. Okay. Now I do need to glue on the outside pieces first. So this is actually the bottom, and this is the front piece, but then I have these. So what I did was I cut them at 4 inches. So I matted them, so we'll bring them down. So they'll just be like the smallest border here, but when the top of the box is on, they you won't see that. You won't see this top part because it's covered, and I didn't feel like I was running low on paper anyway, so I was like, well, what I'll do is I will just cut them a little bit. I won't cut them to the full 6. I'll just cut them a little short. So I cut them at 4 because that way then they still do, they're still under this area. So that was the thought process behind that. sure these edges get stuck down really well. Hold on one second. Hang on one second, guys. Okay. Whoops. You know, I noticed that this paper, well, this is probably the right orientation. Some of these papers, there's not a true orientation. Like this one, it can go, it's kind of like a collage, so it can go any which way, which is good. It's good. Because when I was running low on paper, definitely needed more of a collage feel than one that had directional cuts. Because on this project, I have killed the 12 by 12 and the 8 by 8. And I have used some of the solids, the prints and solids page as well. I do have a bit of that left, and that's nice because it's neutrals, so that's nice. Okay, I don't think I don't think I had anything to go on the front of this that I need to use my stuff, so hang on. Let's get rid of those backers real quick. I don't need them. The adhesive or the tape will give us a little bit better adhesion. And this one goes all the way. Just cut a little long, but oh well. Okay, I'll be right back, guys. Okay, alright, so get this. I'll just press it that way. I don't know if it'll work the same. I'll just squeeze a little glue in there. Sorry, my phone's going crazy. Okay. Now, this one I can put in because, oops, that needs a little glue there too. Regardless of what feet that I end up using, it will not interfere with this paper. So, can't decide though. I think I'm going to use the little feet. Save the rollers for something else. Just this isn't really directional paper, but once again, I don't know. There's just I guess I just have preference to what direction. Okay. right. So let's go ahead, get this bottom into place. Adhesive over that. Okay, this is not directional. I mean, it kind of is, but I decided that I wanted the heart shape this direction. It was hard to decide what patterns where, because I like them all. Right. So let's make sure. Okay. Now, look at how pretty that's coming along. And then this will sit here. Unless I want to do that, but I don't. I wanted a darker top. So let's go ahead and get this glued down. But I do love this paper. This rose with the music in the background. It's so pretty. Some of this paper. Oh shoot. I think it's I want to find. So see, although this isn't directional, like I can technically have it onto the side, I'm going to put this one in the back. And this, or no, to the two sides, I think. There. This one will be to the back. I think this one actually goes here, so, but, okay, so that one's going to go there, and this one is going to go to the back. This first. actually will be upside down. But, if I do it, it'll if I want it to match, it'll actually be upside down, you guys, but that's fine, right? So do I have it match? Or do I have it upside down? That is the question. Okay. I think it would drive me crazy if it was upside down. So we're going to put it right side up instead of matching. Press. It's all stuck down. Okay. Oh, it's so pretty. I love this. Gosh. Love this. Okay, let's get this glued together. So there are going to be a couple of things. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the glue on this piece here. I'm going to put it into the corner. You know what I'm going to do for this? I'm actually going to take off my metal tip because I want to put down a little more glue. Put it into those corners right there. Lots of glue. It's going to go faster without the metal tip. I'm a precise applicator. I'm getting into those corners because these are going to sit, the lid is going to sit right on there, so. See if we can do this without dripping. There we go. Okay. Right, I'm gonna grab a little paper towel. Some of that extra glue. Right, I just want to make sure that this stays on. going to set that off to the side. Let's get working on some of our other pieces. Okay, so hang on just a second. I'll be right back, guys. Okay, I am back, so let's get started with this. So I've already cut all my pieces, and I am going to... I'm only trimming this little piece because the way that I did it, for some reason, my piece, like, it, what did I cut this on? The Brother Scan and Cut. It had a little piece. Okay. All right, so this is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to adhere these together, and it's recommended from the bottom. Okay, so you do want to start by folding my tabs. Because the way I'm looking at it, it looks like probably a good idea. Now she used score tape for hers. I think I'm going to use wet glue for mine. And that might end up being a mistake. Oh, there's a train. Might end up being a mistake, but we'll see. Okay, so it says to... Okay. I'm going to be okay if I just take my time. Just take our time. Make sure these get pressed. I think the hardest one is the one to get it started. Hopefully. It's just making sure I'm lining up this edge to edge. And pressing. Okay. Right. I'm going to go ahead and let's just bend these. Now, there was a cut file that or not a cut file, but there was a file that didn't work for me. Like, I don't have the software for, so that didn't work for me. So what I did was I took the PDF and I just traced it on my Brother Scan and Cut. I was going to do it on my silhouette, but I wasn't sure that I wanted to do it in cardstock or if I wanted to do chipboard, and I did decide to do it with cardstock, not chipboard. Oops, let's fold them the same way. And so I created these little score lines. So a couple of my score lines might be a little narrower, but it's handmade, so we'll get it to work. So funny, my first thought with this was, hey, let's build I must say, let's build a snowman. No. That this was going to be a gazebo, and like things totally changed. The original. Good thing I'm flexible in the sense that I'm okay with changing plans. Falling over here. Also, I may have made this a little more difficult on myself because I cut this out of black cardstock, and I'm planning on adding liners to the inside and the outside. So I think hers she cut with her double-sided pattern paper, and that might have been a little easier. But, you know, you guys know me and my let's make this more difficult than it needs to be attitude. Okay, so that's half. And then I have these to actually slide inside of there. And then we're going to have stripes on the outside stripe. The outside pieces I'm not as concerned about getting done. Getting them in there and getting them correct. I just hope this is going to fit. I did make it a little bigger, so we'll see if it's going to actually fit, or we'll have to modify that. So let's go ahead. We're just going to keep going. And I just realized my mistake. I should have waited and done just the bottom one. It's okay. It's fine. It will be fine. Although, so I'm making a mess now. Good thing this dries clear. she does recommend putting the liner pieces in before finishing it. So let's get this last piece in, or not the last piece, but let's get this piece in before we put that last piece in. And follow my own advice and just glue that one piece first. And then come in once that's adhered down. And with the other ones. Huh. Okay, let's get this. And then we can solve that problem. I did make this bigger.